Hello everyone, I'm Gemma Beall and welcome to Attaining the Second Cognition. I've been talking a lot lately about inspiration and things that have inspired me on my path. In all of the work I share, one of my hopes is that my work inspires others. I always look for inspiration in things that are around me, even when I'm having to deal with the first cognition world while I'm having to interact in it. Inspiration for me can come from many places, and although I prefer to be inspired by the positive around me, sometimes I'm inspired by the negative. In one of the videos we produced last year, There Is No Oneness, we received a lot of backlash in the comment section because it was poking holes in a lot of people's belief balloons, and the egos just couldn't abstain from showing their asses. This one particular commenter was obviously deeply steeped in theosophy and its doctrines and said that we shouldn't be bashing things that we don't understand, and then spirals down the doctrinal checklist like a slinky going downstairs. I responded, and his volleyed retort was something to the effect of this: I just showed you a sturdy slab of concrete and you're too blind to see it. I've just showed you the sword of truth and you're viewing it as a dagger. His analogy inspired me with the best analogy ever to show what we're doing in our work. This presentation is called Concrete and Steel. We were born with our spiritual foundations, our soikas. Our soikas are unshakable and strong and can bear the weight of the truth and keep us strong and secure within ourselves, even in the face of these ugly truths. Throughout our lifetimes, we have others and our indoctrination that takes our sturdy foundation and builds false foundations on the top of it and construct these spiritual houses out of these religious doctrines. It is these faux spiritual houses that we must tear down in our soika process in order to get us back to our soika foundations so we can build our strong and secure soika houses. For those of you that are not familiar with construction, concrete is not a natural substance, and neither is steel. Both are products of fabrication or manufacturing to create something that can be incredibly strong if constructed properly. Concrete is made from sand, small pebbles, and a mixture of water and cement, and must be cured in proper temperatures. However, if the mixture is not to exact measurements and/or the temperature is too hot or too cold, the concrete fails to cure properly, and even though the large slab may look good and look strong, under the weight of pressure, it crumbles easily. Steel is manufactured in a similar manner. It is made from iron ore mixed with other impure metals and smelted to create the steel. However, if the steel is not tempered by heating and hammering, the steel will break easily under the weight of pressure. Nobody will be visibly able to tell if the concrete has been properly cured or if the steel has been properly tempered by sight. It is only with the weight of pressure that one determines if the substance is strong or weak. All these religious doctrines, pick your flavor, are exactly alike. They are manufactured and sold to the masses as our spiritual foundations and spiritual houses, but they are constructed of improperly cured concrete and untempered steel. They only bear the weight of the lies, which is why they coerce one into only accepting what makes them feel good. Lies are incredibly light in comparison to the heavy truth of this reality. Our soikas can recognize this truth even when our egos prefer the exterior foundations supplied to keep us away from who we truly are. What we've been sharing is what we've learned in standing on the ill-fabricated foundations of these doctrines, and once we removed the rubble after they crumbled under the weight of truth and our scrutiny, we were left with the foundation of our soikas giving us strength to live true to ourselves. We are sharing to show this to others. We didn't necessarily realize immediately when those false foundations were crumbling and what was going on and what we needed to do. Sometimes we sit there in the rubble crying and wondering how the hell we're going to pick it all up and put it back together or clean it up and move forward. It's only when we began cleaning up the rubble that we noticed our strong soika foundation buried underneath. We all have these false foundations put on us, and we've been indoctrinated to build our own faulty spiritual houses on top of the faulty foundations. The fear the ego throws at us when we hear this spiritual truth is confirmation that even our Hapim virus knows these false foundations won't bear the weight of scrutiny, so it uses its only weapon, fear, to keep others from looking deeper to find the real foundation. We as individuals must knock down all of these false foundations to get back to the only foundation that can support us on our journey, our Soika foundation. Until one can knock down the false foundations and haul off the trash of these faulty cognitive constructs, we can't stand fully on our Soika foundation and allow our Soika to be as expansive as it can be. If one remains stuck in the crumbling house or the rubble of the shitty first cognition constructs, trying to pick it up and put it back together out of fear of letting it go, they will never be able to see the strong foundation underneath or understand what it feels like to stand strong in their own awareness. Acknowledge the rubble being piled up, and acknowledge that the rubble is the necessary destruction that must happen before you can begin building your own Soika house on the Soika foundation you came into this incarnation with. Don't stand there crying and trying to spackle the faulty walls of the false doctrines back together. Clean it out so you can see your strong Soika foundation underneath. Once you've done this, you will see the firm and strong foundation ready for you to build your Soika house upon that can withstand anything. As you go through your deconstruction phase, realize that there truly is nothing that is a part of the house that was constructed prior to your Soika journey that was built by you or that you personally chose as the material for your house. It's okay to tear everything down to your Soika foundation and rebuild a new house using the materials that you personally created as your own creator. This does not just mean your spiritual or religious beliefs. It means tearing down every illusion you have bought into, especially the illusions your own Hapin virus has convinced you about yourself and who you think you are. For my own Soika house, I found that it's best to only have a foundation. No walls, no roof. Contemplate this concept in your mind where your journey is concerned and see what your Soika tells you about this. Thank you everyone for listening and taking the time to consider this information. Thank you to all of our subscribers and for those that share our videos with others. I'm Gemma Beall. Until next time, stay the course and don't give up on yourself.